let's start streaming, let's promote the links, and then starting the conference.
We're live, so I'm just going to grab all the links. I'm going to put them on the Discords and stuff, so we can start spreading them around there.
Okay. Just give me a thumbs up when we're good to go.
You just want to announce that we're here. We're going to start the conference in 5 minutes. So you're live.
Okay. Attention, everyone. We're going to be starting the conference in 5 minutes' time. I will do the welcome speech, and then we'll have our keynote speakers. This is going to be live streamed on YouTube, on the official DashPay YouTube channel. So make sure you'll get your phones out, get connected to the Wi-Fi. There's no Wi-Fi password, and tweet it out. Let's get lots of people watching this and get the message out about Dash, Digital Cash. Do it now. Please. So who's traveled here the furthest today? Do we have anyone from America? Yeah? From the States? Excellent. Anyone from the UK? Just me. Typical. Is it because of Brexit, right? All right, keep it flowing.
Australians, right?
Yeah, actually, we've got a few Aussies here. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Yay! Excellent. And who's coming to Dashtoberfest tomorrow? Yeah? Awesome. You'll get in the bus later on, right? Excellent. Cool. And that should be going at 7 p.m., right? Outside here? Excellent. Good stuff. You all got your luggage, right? You managed to check out this morning. You brought your luggage with you?
Room 1.
Yep. So for those of you that did bring luggage with you, there is a room 1, and you can store that in there, and that'll be safe for the duration. I'll just wait to get the thumbs up, and then I'll begin.
Where can we find the link to the live?
Yeah. Yes. Well, we've got some big announcements today, as I'm sure you can imagine. I'm looking forward to them. I'm sure you are as well. And I'm suited and booted today. What do you think? Looking good? Bit different from my podcast attire normally. Obviously, for the ladies all present here, naturally, always bringing a crowd. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Hello. Yeah. You came just for me, right? Right. So we're just waiting for the link to the live stream to go up, and then we can begin. Yeah. So who spent Dash at the Porthouse yesterday? Dude, that was so good, buying so many beers with that. Just the ability to buy Dash and using the Salamantec solution, it's just so great. And I hope that they keep that solution and we can push that to push other merchants here. And then who knows, we might come back in a year or two and they might rename the Bitcoin Embassy Switzerland to the Dash Embassy Switzerland. Wouldn't that be great? Yeah. Yeah, I thought you'd like that. So, who did the co-working session yesterday morning? Did you enjoy it? Was it what you expected? Yeah? Interesting. And you found value in it? I think it was important for everyone to have the chance to engage and voice their opinions, and I hope that you did find value in that. And I think it's really great that you've all come out to this event. This is really the first community event that we've done for Dash, and I hope that you've enjoyed it, and I hope we can do this in the future. I mean, I would love to do this every 6 months and go somewhere else. So if you've got any ideas what locations you'd like to go next, let me know. I mean, we've got lots of merchant adoption places. We've got Thailand, Bangkok, Thailand. I'd love to go. Do you know what? I probably won't come back, let's be honest. But I'd love to go there. What about Medellin in Colombia? Would you be up for that? Yeah. That would be interesting. I'd love to go there. There's so many merchants on boarded there.
Where's the 10K party going to be?
When's the 10K party?
Where's it going to be?
When's it going to be? That's a great question. Oh, where? Where?
It's when it's inevitable, but
Yeah, where? That. Yeah. Well, I mean, Dash is so popular now, and it's so big. I don't even think we could do it in Arizona because the HQ offices just wouldn't be big enough to facilitate all of us. So we'd have to get a massive venue. Fernando mentioned yesterday in the co-working session that Dash Core Group are hoping to do an event around springtime. So I look forward to that. I guess the location is yet to be decided. There's a lot to get done. So.
You could go wherever you want.
Yeah, we live? Oh, excellent. Okay.
It should be on the Discord channel in general.
The link is up. Okay. Get on Facebook, Twitter, Telegram, everywhere. Syndicate. Get the message out. Okay. Right. Okay. We're going to begin. Yeah? Happy days. Okay. 3. Hello and welcome to day 2 of the Dash Convention Europe. We're in Uster at the Bitcoin Embassy, Switzerland. My name is Mark Mason. I am a Dash Trust Protector. I'm also the co-founder and director of media and PR for Dash News, which is an international publication translated into 7 languages. We also run the Discover Dash online business merchant directory. And I'm also the co-host of the Dash podcast. Who watches the podcast? Yes, that's good. Whew, excellent. So you know who I am already. That's fantastic. But for those at home watching the live stream, hello. Excellent. So today's event is being live streamed on YouTube. And I would like to give a special thanks to Rodrigo and Breezy, and also Ash Francis. They've been the technical whiz kids in setting up the live stream, and they've been absolutely fantastic. So please make sure you stay tuned into the broadcast today. We've got many keynote speakers, and then we've got some really, really exciting news. So we've got a whole day of keynote speakers. So keep watching, because we've got some really big announcements. So don't tune off and get onto that weird side of YouTube, whatever you do. I'd like to take this opportunity, once again, to express my thanks and gratitude to Fabio, Jan, Martin, and everyone else who's helped organize this event. I hope you all agree with me. They've done a tremendous job. I think it's been fantastic. Can we please give them a round of applause? I'd also like to extend my thanks to the event sponsors, Bitterlo, Genesis Group, Bluecon, shoppingbit.de, Satoshi Goods, IQ Cash Now, Vulturo, Utrust, Dashmasternode.io, BitConsult, Salamantex, Cgift, CrowdNode, Coinify, AnyPay, MW Solutions, and Travala. That was a bit of a mouthful. Thank you. Thank you to all our sponsors for supporting the event and your interest in Dash. It is very much appreciated. When this community event was announced on the Dash podcast at the end of July 2019, there was only a short 2-month window to organize, coordinate, and plan the event we are attending today. Now, despite Dash's can-do, positive attitude and pragmatic approach, I'm afraid to say there were some skeptics who said it could not be done. There simply wasn't enough time. Well, my friends, this isn't the first time the Dash community has been told something isn't possible. After all, didn't they once say that blockchain could not scale on chain? And Dash proved them wrong. Am I right? I thought you'd like that. Okay, so I've been a holder of Dash since 2014, and I've been a member of the Dash community since the Darkcoin subreddit days. Seems like a long time ago now. And I've also been a Slack and Discord moderator for many years now. Over that time, I've made countless friendships online via the Dash community channel, and yesterday it was really satisfying and a real pleasure to finally meet some of you in person who I've been talking to for years online, but up until this point in time, many of you have been under the guise of anonymous avatars and aliases. So it's great to meet you in person, and I now know who you are. I feel really fortunate to be a part of such a passionate, vibrant, rapidly growing international community and a project that continues to innovate and push the boundaries of blockchain technology. The fact that we have so many strategic partners here today as keynote speakers is testament to Dash's ever-growing ecosystem and its focus to deliver on utility and not hype. Am I right? Speculation will only take you so far. To achieve true mass adoption, we need a solution that is fit for purpose. And I believe Dash is the king of digital cash. We are not concerned with short-term noise, as we're playing the long game of building an industry-leading, robust digital payment solution that champions real-world use in coalition with our strategic partners, some of which you'll be hearing from today. So, why are we here today? Why are we supporting Dash? What is the mission objective? The answer is simple. Financial independence. Blockchain technology is the most exciting, disruptive technology since the internet. It will not only disrupt, but bring innovation to all industries, including financial services. Economic freedom is freedom, and Dash gives the gift of financial freedom. The power to take back control and become your own bank. Dash is the leading digital currency for payments. It is now more secure than Bitcoin. I had to look at Martin for that one, got eye contact. And that's all thanks to Chainlock's activation that also enables instantly confirmed Dash transactions that are instantly respendable, making Dash the purest functioning form of digital cash that you can use in cryptocurrency today. That, my friends, is why Dash is called digital cash. Dash transactions are instantly confirmed, secure, cost less than a penny to send to anyone, anytime, anywhere, and is instantly respendable. Unlike many other cryptocurrencies, which require waiting for multiple confirmations, before you can spend it, Dash now operates exactly like cash. Once you've received payment, you immediately have the freedom to turn around and spend it. Users and merchants do not have to wait for long payment confirmation times, as Dash transactions are instantly settled and secure. Exchanges now have the ability to enable instant deposits and withdrawals for Dash, and cryptocurrency traders can utilize Dash instant transactions to take full advantage of arbitrage trading opportunities. Dash is making the digital cash vision for cryptocurrency payments a reality, offering the best value proposition and experience for users, merchants, exchanges, and traders. Dash is digital cash, and our mission objective is to make everyday payments simple. So, let's talk about the agenda for today. We have a Dash-tastic lineup of keynote speakers. There will be a total of 16 keynotes today. The keynote speakers will begin immediately after I finish my welcome introduction. We'll have a 1-hour lunch break between 12 and 1 p.m., then a coffee break for 30 minutes at 3 p.m. to refuel and boost our energy levels, and then the event will come to a close around 5 p.m.-ish. For those who are traveling to Munich, Germany, after today's event to celebrate Dashtoberfest, there will be a bus ready to leave outside here at 7 p.m. Excellent. Finally, if I may, I'd like to make one small request. If you can do post-status updates, photos or videos from the event today on social media, can you please use the hashtag #DashConvention? I would like to conclude my speech with my catchphrase from the Dash podcast outro. Stay positive, stay humble, but most importantly, stay Dashy. Love it. Enjoy the event today. Thank you. I would like to invite our first keynote speaker to the stage. Please give a warm welcome to Dash Core Group Chief Operating Officer, Robert Wienczko. Did I get it right? I got it right! Yeah! Excellent.
That was great.
Thanks.
Thank you. It's not easy to pronounce my name. So kudos, Mark. Thank you very much. My name is Robert Wienczko. I'm COO of Dashcore Group, so the development company behind Dash. And I'm going to provide the most obvious presentation today. What is Dash? Mark made my work even harder because he's stolen all of my content in his introduction, saying what is Dash, but it's fine. Before I start, two things. First of all, Jan, Mark, Joel, Fabio, and other guys who organized this event, thank you very much. Outstanding work. Community members delivered this, created all of this, what you are seeing here. We are here because of them. So guys, give them some love, some applause. Thank you very much. Outstanding work. Second thing, I need 2 volunteers. Two guys who will help me with the presentation of private sense. Since we are live, let's show the world how it works. So when we will be speaking about about instant sense, I need 2 volunteers who will come to me and show it. Sławek? Okay. So guys, sit down somewhere in here and then we will do the work together, right? A little bit later. So, just sit down. I will ask for it. So, what is Dash? Let's start the story. Everything with crypto started in 2008 because financial system crashed, and it became obvious that it doesn't work. These guys, I mean financial industry, banking industry, they love to speak about trust, about, I don't know, stability of their systems, about regulations. It was there in 2008, but what happened? Total crash. Because of speculation, because of instruments, derivatives, that simply crushed the financial industry. And the reaction of the world was, one of the reaction was Bitcoin. created by Satoshi Nakamoto in 2008 as an alternative, as a peer-to-peer payments network. And this was the original vision of Bitcoin, but it has been changed during the time. But there is still peer-to-peer payments network that works flawlessly, that with the team that delivers the solution according to original vision of Satoshi Nakamoto, and this is Dash. Dash is peer-to-peer payment solution. So we are here to help, to disrupt, to, I don't know, provide solutions, alternative solutions to payments industry. And our main feature for this is Instant Send, the fastest, the cheapest, borderless payments solution on the planet, probably. At least I don't know better solution, cheaper, faster solution in the payments industry that currently works on the planet. So, guys, Tomek, Sławek, let's show them how it works. So you have your Dash wallet, and you can how we can show it without your wallet. It's instantly spendable and instantly confirmed. Can you request some Dash so I can send it to you? Right now what I'm doing, I'm scanning QR code of Tomek, sending him like 10 euros, equivalent of 10 euros in Dash. Putting send.
Yes, I got the transaction.
And it's done. It's there. 1 second. With the cost below 1 cent. Can you send it to Sławek?
I don't know.
Share with him.
Cut the face.
He's from Poznań, by the way. The people who are from Poland know that those guys are amazing if it comes to spending and sharing money.
I have a cheap phone, so the QR.
By the way, he's our Android developer. So you have this solution thanks to the work of this guy.
Nie czyt- a, ok, ok. That's okay.
So right now, Tomek is sending.
Something is wrong.
It takes 3 minutes to scan the code.
Yeah. I told you, your wife should be here. Send him €1.
I send him 10. And?
Send it.
And that's here. So I can, as you can see. Thanks, guys. So this is the solution we are providing for the payments industry. Really fast, really cheap, outstanding tech. But it's not only instant payments. It's also privacy. What is important for Dash? Privacy is a basic human right, and we really respect that. We respect privacy for individuals, but also we see that privacy is really important for business. There are some controversies in the industry about privacy. Regulators are complaining about privacy-focused coins, etc., etc. But at the same time, what they do, for example, they recently created, in European Union actually, a law called GDPR that requires privacy. So if we want blockchain to be useful in business, in any type of business, we need privacy, and this is the solution to provide privacy. Optional solution, optional feature of Dash to provide privacy. Decentralized governance is another thing that is exceptional, unique for Dash. We have created first DAO. I know, Jan, I'm having a counter here. We have created this to simply as a governance solution for our network. We also created enhanced security solution, chain locks, that make our blockchain resistant to 51% attack. the most secure blockchain on the planet. Everything of this is possible because of this team, DCG. I have a privilege and pleasure to work for DCG, be a part of this team. There are many people behind this name. This is the team, but it's not only the development team. It's also you guys, the greatest community in this industry. People located all over the world. A lot of embassies, different groups. This is just an example. These are the logos of the biggest organizations, biggest community organizations working in the Dash network, but there are many people working in promotion, working hard on the ground, with integrations, promoting Dash, sharing news, etc., etc. Thank you very much for the work you are doing for this project. You are outstanding. And there is entire ecosystem of the companies working for Dash. Here what you can see, those are just logos of some companies recently integrated with our blockchain, but there are literally thousands of companies in the ecosystem, and it's growing. You will hear some amazing announcements today. I was telling to the guys yesterday, guys, it's starting. It's something unbelievable, and you know, I think that in 2-3 years we will be in completely different position. Thanks to all of these organizations, thanks to partners, thanks to the community members who are working with us for the success of Dash. And in the future, well, what is in the future? We have great tech now. We have great teams. What are we planning as a development team? Dash Evolution. Everyone probably knows that Dash Evolution is the next major release. We are expecting the main components of Dash Evolution will be the Dash platform, so the decentralized storage, APIs, software development kits that will allow development of the decentralized applications. I will not be sharing too many details of the platform because we are having here Dana, who is our product owner for the platform, the guy who just came, our brilliant developer Ivan Shumkov. They will be talking about platform. Another component is DashPay, so the mobile application, new mobile application for very user-friendly solution, and I believe that DashPay will change the entire crypto industry. This will be the completely different user experience, the user experience you know from the best solutions in the industry like DashPay and like PayPal or Venmo, for example. And also, not too many details. Here, this guy, one of the most brilliant guys in the crypto industry, famous Quantum Explorer, our mobile application developer. He's a guy behind the iOS wallet development, probably one of the best and mostly experienced experts and engineers in the crypto industry. Sam. So, in case you are having any technical questions, you are having here our experts. They will be happy to answer any of them. And also Sinai, our integrations expert. he is also part of the support team, part of the team that works and supports integration. In case any technical questions are appearing, you are having the right guys here on the floor, and they will happy to respond to you. Me too, of course. Let me say a word about the DCG strategy. Dashcore Group has a development team, and we have created the development strategy that is focusing on the 5 major, let's say, pillars. We are working on the cash-based businesses on integration of cash-based businesses, and the best example is like cannabis industry. In United States, they have their troubles because they need to handle cash. It generates a lot of cost. Remittances is another pillar where cryptocurrencies simply shine. At the moment, we are being focused on 2 major markets, between Mexico and United States, and also Germany, Turkey. But the opportunities are there. In general, Latin America is very interested in remittances and cryptocurrencies. Hyperinflationary markets, so as I mentioned, Venezuela, Colombia is rising. The interest in Ukraine, Turkey is monumental, I would say, and probably this is the future, the nearest future. High chargeback industries. Oh, this is absolutely fantastic. This sounds maybe really a little bit weird, but in fact it's e-gaming, e-gambling. They are suffering a lot from the chargebacks. People use credit cards or other means of payment to pay for their games and then claiming chargebacks. And this generates a lot of losses for this industry. And surprise, surprise, so far we have not been working with them, but realized that I guess more than 25 big companies they have integrated Dash by themselves, and are really happy to to work with us to promote this solution on their platforms. Absolutely brilliant industry. And of course, cryptocurrency trading, the last pillar, obviously in arbitrage, that there is opportunity in arbitrage area, but also it's very attractive to any trader to pay very low fee for the transfer, and obviously this is the area where we work also with our industry, our crypto industry. So with this, I want to wrap it up quickly, and I will be more than happy to answer your questions. If you have any, I would love to interact. So guys, any questions? I know everyone knows everything about Dash, but I would love to talk to you a little bit.
Do you have any numbers about the integration of Dash in the gambling industry? You said some providers did integrate it themselves. Do you know how much it is?
No, we don't have any numbers yet. We will try to collect some numbers for this or next quarterly call and present it publicly, but we don't have any numbers. Yeah, the question was if we are having any numbers from the gaming and e-gaming industry. So, and the answer is not yet, but we will be happy to present some when we are getting there.
How big do you think is the impact of the Dash integration on Coinbase?
So the question was how big is the impact of the integration on the Coinbase? So in terms of like trading, so far it's insignificant, I would say, because there was like small move up in prices. However, it wasn't like astonishing. But in my personal opinion, regulatory impact, legal impact is huge because, yeah, it was my timer. Because Coinbase is heavily regulated, and Coinbase has a brilliant technical team. Those guys really understand the tech behind cryptocurrencies. We were working with them, they were asking questions, and they are top engineers in the industry. We realized how professional they are. And if Coinbase decided to integrate Dash, it means, it's fine from the regulatory, legal, and technical perspective, right? So the impact behind trading is much bigger and much more important, in my opinion, than just numbers and volumes from trading. Great question, by the way.
Do you have any indication that they will work without confirmations in the future?
So the question was if Coinbase, you mean? Okay, if we have any indications that they will be working without confirmations. Obviously, they won't be working without confirmations. I hope they will integrate instant send with chain logs eventually. But so far, Coinbase, allowed to confirm Dash after 2 confirmations only. So it's much, much less than any other cryptocurrency in the industry. And it means that they recognize the advantages. I'm not surprised that it's the way that they don't want to integrate chain locks and instance send immediately. I think they want to look at it, they want to do some monitoring, and eventually they will do this. It's my opinion. I don't have any information from them. It's my opinion that they just investigating the solution. The solution is pretty new. We have released this couple of months ago only. So I think exchanges try to protect their business and simply want to test this solution and introduce instant send and chain locks gradually. But it will happen sooner or later.
Regarding the mobile app, the mobile app, the store, the Play Store in China, do we have to implement something there, or is it automatically integrated? Do you know how this is looked?
Sam, do you know anything about this?
Are you asking if, right now the iOS and Android apps are not on the Chinese store. Are you asking, can they be on the Chinese store? Is that the question? Oh, okay. So we actually were on the Chinese store about a year ago, but China basically asked Apple to remove our apps from the Chinese store. So not our apps, basically all cryptocurrency apps. If there are any on the Chinese store, it's probably because they got through the crack somehow. I'm not really completely sure, but it's out of our control. It's more like Chinese government regulations.
Well, that's a good point. Can I ask a question? Speaking of government regulations, where do you think all that's going? People are going to invest a lot in blockchain, but that's one of the hiccups, right? Is how's government going to treat cryptocurrency in the future? Because they seem to be kind of teaming up against certain cryptocurrencies.
Are we talking about the Chinese government or just in any government?
I'm from the U.S. and I'm living in Europe and trying to stay here because I don't like some of the policies of our government. And I'm getting into blockchain. I've had a development company for 20 years. But for me to invest in this technology and to try to present it to potential clients, one of my biggest fears is what if we invest all this money and then the government says, no, you can't do that anymore. You're out. Just like you just presented about China.
I'm not going to talk very much about government. It's a little bit sensitive topic, but we can talk later about it if you wish.
Frankly speaking, we cannot do too much except educating them, right? I don't think that they will do what you are afraid of. Billions of dollars have been, invested in the crypto industry. If they would shut it down, they would do it like 2-3 years ago. Right now, this is a serious business. Banks are investing in crypto, so I'm not expecting that governments will do too much except regulating some businesses, which will be probably fine for those businesses, for financial industry, but I would not expect they will shut it down. But what we can do and what we have to do is to educate them. How it works, why it's important, why it's better, how they can, let's say, use it for their own advantage. Okay, so my time is off. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for your attention. I'm staying here, so if you want to ask any other questions, I'm for you. Thank you, guys.
So, thank you, Robert. I don't know if you have recognized it, but we are already, even though that was the first presentation of today, 25 minutes behind the schedule. But not Robert's fault. Not Robert's fault. It's not because I'm German. That's not the only reason. I think having the opportunity to pay beer with Dash might be a reason for this delay in the morning. So. Please welcome next on stage the team from Smart Valor. They are a regulated exchange from Switzerland. I will wait. I hope that worked. Ah. Now it works. So there are these two guys on the screen over there preparing, and what you can see right now is that Smart Valor offers a discount of 10% when you're buying Dash on their exchange. But I think bonus, not a discount. Sorry. So I guess it might make sense that you explain it on yourself. So who's presenting? Okay, so one the presenter and one the microphone, or do you handle both?
We'll have one microphone for two of us.
Okay.
Thank you.
So welcome.
Perfect. Great, good morning everyone. Ivan and I both made it a long way here from the Crypto Valley to show you how much Smart Valor and Dash's vision and mission are similar to each other and how we're going to grow global adoption together.
Great, but before we do that, I want to start with a personal story which we experienced last weekend, and I think everyone who's using crypto on a regular basis have experienced that issue at least once. So last weekend, there was the famous Laver Cup, where Roger Federer was playing against John Isner, and we were with some friends, some colleagues from Smart Valor watching this game, and we decided to spice it up a little bit by placing some bets. And obviously, most of us have their personal funds in crypto, so it makes sense to make the bets with crypto, right? So we registered on a platform which accepted crypto, and the platform accepted Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. So we decided to use Bitcoin Cash because it's more suitable for payments, but we placed the deposit, and then we saw that this platform needs 6 confirmations before the deposit went through. And 6 confirmations, ladies and gentlemen, on Bitcoin Cash, it took us nearly 2 hours before the whole transaction went through. So guess what? The game was over. Roger Federer won, but we didn't win.
Well, Ivan, you should have probably used Dash. Yeah, I mean, Dash being with Instant Send, we would have received the funds within 1 second and at practically no cost. But I can't be so mad at you because I had a similar experience with exchanges. I mean, close to New Year's, I had a little bit of extra cash saved over from Christmas time. And, well, I thought it was a good opportunity to buy some Dash. Well, it's always a good opportunity to buy Dash. But I thought at this particular time it was a little bit better for me. So I wanted to go and buy some on the exchange, but it was actually quite hard. I had to take my Swiss francs to my dollars, to Bitcoin, and then to Dash. In a world where we're trying to disintermediate, it felt like there were more intermediaries than ever before.
Yes, Shiraz, that's why you should have used Smart Valor. We at Smart Valor, we are leading kind of next wave of exchanges which are fully secure and compliant, and we're like headquartered in the Crypto Valley, at the heart of the Crypto Valley. And with our exchange, you could have bought Dash directly with credit card. You could have gotten the 10% bonus, and yeah, it would be just much faster, and you could sleep much better because we're like fully secured than the other exchange, which you probably bought Dash in the new year. As you see here, we're a team of 35 people. Nearly half of them are located in the Crypto Valley, which makes us one of the biggest players in the Crypto Valley because we're really there. We're not just a post box office there. We're talking directly to regulators. We're talking directly to the ecosystem. We are constantly improving ourselves and making sure that we're compliant with the regulations. So why should you use Smart Valor in a nutshell? So basically there are several points. First of all, as I mentioned, it's high security. We're partnering from the very early stage with BitGo and Ledger. We're one of the 7 early access members of the Ledger Vault custody service, next to really big players like Genesis Mining and Nomura Japanese Bank. The second point is that we are supported by the Swiss government. We are part of the InnoSwiss program, of the coaching and mentoring program, and we even got a little governmental grant. And next to that, also by leading global institutions, for example, Thomson Reuters, we were part of their accelerator program, incubator program in Bar, and now we are part of the accelerator program of the Wangchain blockchain Axonomy group in Shanghai, which helps us to scale up in the Asian markets as well. Third point is we're supported by leading investors. So Venture Incubator, for example, is one of the leading investors in the startup space. They invest in biotech, in fintech, in VR, AI, and actually they did their first token investment into the Valor native token, which we're very proud of. Hopefully they will invest in other cryptocurrencies, coins, and tokens as well in the future, but we're working on that. And Yeomans Growth Capital, basically, they are one of the leading investors in the blockchain space, led by David Johnston, who is founder and chairman of Factom, and he's the founder of the first crypto-only family office in the US in 2012. The next point, which is very important, is that we were talking about regulations, we're talking about which jurisdictions you should be placed in. We are in Liechtenstein and in Switzerland, two jurisdictions which are super crypto-friendly. In the Crypto Valley, you can even pay your taxes in Bitcoin, and there are like jurisdictions which are very kind of long-term and clear. They're not like jurisdictions like some of the Asian ones which change their mind every 5 months. Cryptos is banned, Cryptos is not banned, Cryptos is banned. So you can be sure that if you have your Dash at Smart Valor, that it will be there forever. As if you don't spend it, of course. And last but not least, we currently have no fees. We have like instant buy function with credit cards, and if you deposit, it's like much faster. We'll come afterwards with that, and yes, so a lot of reasons why you use Smart Valor. I mean, I don't want to go into the details of all the supporters, but one thing which I want to tell you is like we're highly supported by Dash. I see that the slide was not adapted. Actually, the Dash logo should be here. But we were very happy that the Dash Core Group supports us very much. They came to the Crypto Summit event, which is the biggest conference. They came to the Crypto Summit World Tour in Portugal with us. They came to our launch event with us. And now for us, it's time to support Dash, because we really want to support real use cases, real projects, and Dash is definitely one of them.
Great, thank you for that, Ivan. So now it's my turn to give you a little bit more about why the Smart Valor platform is great for you, the users, to use. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have 5 different announcements for you today. We were told by the organizers that you love announcements, so we've prepared a couple of things for you. The first one, quite simple, is that Dash was listed last Thursday, I do believe, on the Smart Valor platform. So we had the pleasure of having Fernando, Robert, and Fabio there at the meetup to give us a little talk about Dash and to have all our communities celebrate together. The next one is standing right next to me. No, it's not Ivan leaving to the Dash team. It's the Buy Dash and Get 10% campaign, as you can see here. So what's great about this is that all users are able to use this campaign. I know there are some people in the room that have a Smart Valor account already. Don't fear, you as well can use the platform as well and have access to this campaign. The 10% bonus will be split 50% in Valor, 50% in Dash, to show the cooperation and partnership that we have together and lead adoption of both of these cryptocurrencies together. All you have to do, ladies and gentlemen, is to buy your Dash on the Smart Valor platform, hold it from the 2nd of October to the 9th of October, and you will receive the bonus for you. And, well, this is great for all those people that want to buy some more Dash. But a lot of people in the room, as we heard yesterday, have Dash already. All their savings are in Dash, so what can we provide to you? So, you heard a little bit about Coinbase earlier on. So now, Smart Valor is accepting one confirmation only for their exchange. Coinbase made a big deal about it, saying that they were 12 times faster than Bitcoin. Well, now we're 24 times faster than Bitcoin. Great, so now the people that didn't have Dash have bought Dash. The people that had Dash in other places, they've transferred it to the Smart Valor platform. And now does it just sit there? I think we can do it a little bit better than that. So for the first time ever, ladies and gentlemen, here at the Dash Convention Europe, we are announcing Dash staking on the Smart Valor platform. Which means that you, as a user, will have 100% of the returns from your Dash on the Dash platform. You can take it in and out whenever you please. There's no extra cost involved in this. I think the interest is currently at 6.3% per annum, and I feel like that will be a great way. So that's 4 announcements. I think we have one last one.
Yeah. So the next one is the Crypto Summit. Basically, I told you already, it's the biggest conference in Switzerland. More than 1,000 people came to the last conference. Fernando and Robert were speaking at the conference. We were very happy to have them at the conference. And we'll have basically the next conference. It's actually on the 19th of January. So the slide is also not adapted, but it doesn't matter. We will definitely accept Dash as payments for tickets, and we talked to the venue to accept Dash also for the payments of buying like coffees, drinks, and we want to show people, because this conference is more we have more people who are like from traditional finance, more people from consulting spaces for like not the typical crypto users. So we want to show them how easy it is. And that's definitely something which we're trying to push to the conference and try to get each and every one of those 1,000 to at least make one Dash like transfer. Feel free to ask any questions.
Staking, you mentioned the amount of return as the same as Masternode?
Yes.
If I stake 100 Dash only, I get the same return as a Masternode?
The question was like, if I stake at Smart Valor, do you get the same amount of Dash as a Masternode? And the answer is yes. You get the full profits of the staking deposited to your account.
As a percentage?
Yes, as a percentage, of course. So if you stake 100 Dash for 1 year, and you will get 6 point something Dash, 6.3. Yeah, you don't have to hold it 1 year. So if you hold it like half a year, you get half of the profits, obviously. So you get like in this sense 3.15. If you stake it less, then less. So it's annually returns from the masternodes. It will be most likely monthly basis.
Here it says that it has 0 transaction fees. Would you like to say something about it? Because sounds interesting, but is it really 0?
Yes, currently it's really 0. Obviously, we cannot do it forever, but currently it's 0 until end of October, and afterwards we'll try to be definitely cheaper than the major crypto exchanges.
And do you have API?
Not yet, but we will have this like October-ish time.
Oh, so when it's not?
Yeah.
So, I have a question. Can Americans join, or just Europeans?
Unfortunately, currently we don't allow the US users for trading. But behind you is our legal head of compliance. So maybe you can convince her to change her mind. Excuse me?
Can companies open the account?
Yes. We have a corporate corporate account function. So if you from Dash Core Group want to exchange it to fiat to pay some of your bills, you can definitely do it on our exchange. We would be more than happy. Excuse me?
What kind of companies do you accept? Do they have a Georgian company from Georgia?
No restriction.
There's no restrictions on companies except US.
No restriction based on KYC, so you need to complete the full KYC process, but then no restriction in terms of locations.
Yeah, but US.
No, we have US companies as well.
Okay, US okay, the question was what's the restriction on company side? So yeah, sorry about the wrong. So if you're a company registered in the US, it's fine. If you're like a person, individual, it's unfortunately not.
What kind of fiat currencies?
The question was what kind of fiat currencies we accept. We currently accept Swiss franc, euros, pounds, and dollars, and we're working on accepting the major currencies in Europe, Eastern Europe, etc. So this will come soon as well.
What is the minimum amount of Dash to stake?
There is currently no minimum, but probably it will be like 0.5. What? No, for the staking, that's for the deposit. So it's 0.5 I think we have in the system, but yeah, I mean, I don't think this should be a problem.
Staking is not launched yet, right? It launches in a few days.
The launch of the staking, that was the question, is not launched yet. It will be in a few days. We wanted to announce it before we announce it in our PR community so that you guys already know from Dash. So that's why we did it beforehand.
Thank you for your time. Let's please postpone the questions and have the discussion outside. I know it's an interesting topic and you want to dive deeper into Smart Valor, but we need to kind of hurry. It's the German way. Right now we are 30 minutes behind the schedule. So let's try to keep it up. Thank you for the presentation. Enjoy and have a discussion. Yeah? Okay. So the next team on stage is a company I think most of you have heard of before, but I don't know where they are at the moment. Just it over there. So they will be talking about the future of mining, whatever this will mean, and I think you can imagine which company is hitting the stage right now. So please welcome the team of Genesis Mining. I think you are the biggest miner for Dash. Is that true?
I'm not sure about it because it's hard to be measured, but we're a big miner for sure. We've been mining it from the very beginning, I think. Back when it was still called another name.
Okay, so mining from the beginning on when it was still called Darkcoin. Yeah, I already unplugged it. It's over here.
Thank you. Oh no, it's too short.
So just move that over there. We'll solve that.
Just a moment, please.
I offered them our hardware, but they're good in hardware, I guess, with all the mining stuff, and maybe they prepare their own. Yeah. It crashed. No, it did not.
Nein?
Aber der hat schon das Problem, oder?
Ja.
Nimm mal raus. Der kommt doch nicht so leicht. Hast du PC bei dir?
Nein. Das ist nur genau.
Aber wir brauchen ja nur den Link, richtig? Ist auf dem Rechner von Martin Telegram oder sowas drauf? Ja.
Technical difficulties.
They rolled out significant arms racing.
We're done. They're probably going to go on.
Did you see the size of their team? No,
35. Swiss territory as well.
Taking a look at the clock, the schedule is no lunch today. Exactly. Yeah, we need to keep that up. Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to stand there with all the with the old logo.
Martin, du hast trotzdem gerade keine Connection zu dem Screen. Du kannst ihm eine E-Mail schicken, vielleicht ist das einfacher. Das ist ein Stromkabel, aber ja nur, oder? Stromkabel, ja. Hast du seine Nummer gefunden? Hast du die Nummer gefunden von ihm? Alles okay? Oh.
God.
Shit.
Yeah, hold it.
Yeah, feet up. Feet up.
Okay, somebody call.
Just hold it. I'm calling.
Okay, cool. Make some space. All right, get back.
Thank God.
We thought maybe it was you because we're running late.
No, but it can be put on the system. But usually the HDMI works. I don't have a Mac, so that's the way the service is. Yeah, exactly. Just pick up the fluid. Yeah, exactly. This is what. Let's get it.
Erstmal ein bisschen an die frische Luft. Irgendwann raus, an die frische Luft. Jemand anderen betreiben. Wir machen jetzt mit
Whew. Okay, so for everyone in here in the room and the people at home at the live stream, we will go on now with CrowdNode. And maybe we will be able to learn about the future of mining later on. So we're just getting prepared with Peter and
Andreas. Yeah, sorry it says only Peter on the agenda, but I just couldn't help myself. I'm from CrowdNode as well. There's 4 of us on the team and we're all here today. Just before we get started, maybe just loosen up a little bit here. Whew. How do you feel? I feel good, actually. Not tilting over, but that was, whoa. So I love being here in Switzerland, Crypto Valley, embassy and everything, but what is really so great about Switzerland? I don't really know, but their flag is a great plus. Yeah. All right. So this is the team. There's 4 of us. I'm the first guy, Andreas, Peter Thornton, Thomas, and Vespol. So besides creating what we think is a really amazing product, there's something special about this team, to me, very special. The product we created is one we wanted for ourselves. But looking at these guys, there's more to it to me personally. You're looking at some of my, I'm still a bit shocked about the thing before, some of my very best friends. Thornton, I've known for 15 years. Thomas, I've known for 20 years. And Peter, I've known for 25 years. And actually the guy that 9 years ago approximately introduced me to Bitcoin. So I'm just going to give it to you for a moment.
Okay, so we have the CEO, the CIO, the CFO, and I'm the CON. And does anybody know what that is? It's the chief of nothing. That's my role in the company. Okay, so what are we doing? What was the point? What do we set out to do? So there's this concept of a Dash masternode, which we all know and love. And there's this little requirement of 1,000 Dash. And it gives 65 Dash per annum once you have one. So that's a pretty good yield in this day and age. Besides some other things we'll talk about. And the idea is, of course, via our platform to pool smaller amounts of Dash from a lot of people into units of 1,000 Dash. And then we set out to distribute these 65 Dash per year, 15% to us and 85% to the crowd. And we saw a sustainable business doing that. And back when we sort of came up with this was a time in late December when we were just about to take over the world, right? It was euphoria. Dash was above $1,000, and that means that a masternode was quite literally $1 million, right? And so well out of reasonable reach for ordinary people. And so there was pooling services. So the problem was sort of had a solution already. These solutions had some drawbacks we thought made it impractical for what we wanted, because Andreas said we try to make a solution that we ourselves would like. And some of it was high minimum deposits, for example, typically about a 50 Dash minimum, which is still a lot of money if a Dash is $1,000. And they were all run by community members of sort of impeccable reputation. And you know, how do you get your foot in that, because nobody knew us? As Mark Mason said when we did an interview with him early on, he said, like, out of the blue. So that's where we came from. Anyhow, the other thing we wanted to address really importantly is the Stout participation. So participation in the voting of Dash proposals and decision making, and the transparency. To make it really transparent, not just we have X masternodes, but what are the masternodes? What are the IP addresses? You know, what did they vote, and so on and so forth. So, so that basically led to this short list of what we wanted to do. We wanted to basically try to have a leading transparency. That's been a mantra. Also, basically a corporate entity in an EU country with a sort of well-defined legal framework, so that if we defraud people, they can come after us in Denmark and not Cayman Islands via Hong Kong or something. And also, really, because we're already doing it, focus on active community participation, trying to help build Dash for the benefit of Dash. And so, of course, with a reasonable margin at $1,000, we saw a good business case at the time. Okay, so the history, what do we do?
History. So the idea was conceived back in December 2017, where we sat down, the four of us, had a few beers, and we talked about a lot of ideas, but I think this was actually your idea, Peter, and that sort of exceeded the other ideas by lengths. So the company was established in March, but lots happened in between December and March, obviously. I took a leave of absence from my day job, so started working full-time on this in February. We worked and worked heavily on it. We met often, and after 3 months, we had some substantial on community sites supporting things like faucets and block explorers and all that stuff. So touching the out of the blue, nobody saw us coming. Well, nobody paid enough attention, I think, but that's a different matter. We launched 8th of August on testnet, which was actually silenced launch prior to that, but that was when we announced it. And approximately a month later, we launched on mainnet. Following that launch, briefly, we did our first transparency report. And by the way, closely tied to the launch, we had our first masternode spun up, which was obviously something we managed to partially do ourselves. But nonetheless, that's obviously an important part to show that the masternode setup was working even in production very briefly after the launch. It really hit, the 10th of October interview with Mark, that was only supposed to be maybe 20 minutes, half an hour, turned out to sort of rocket our adventure, really. He kept asking questions. He was like unstoppable, dashy. By November 29th, we had the great celebration of our 10th masternode, and the adventure continued. We grew over the months, and as promised in the interview with Mark, we introduced member voting, which Peter will touch more on. And we had 500 members in May, and by members we mean people who signed up, and 21 masternodes at that point in time. And that leads us sort of up to now. We have 26 masternodes. There will be some metrics in Peter's slides as well. We can spin up masternode 27. We could actually before we left, but we didn't have time to put the keys back in the bank vault, so we didn't. But we will when we get home. So that's masternode number 27 in hopefully just a few days.
Yeah. Okay. So coming back to the credo here, which is transparency, we made all these transparency reports, and we basically sat down and thought about what kind of data might people be interested in that we can make publicly available, and so people can discuss, and we put everything in that we thought of. And if you think of something else, please come and tell us. So we will probably be able to accommodate that. But this is where we are now. Basically, we have 600 and something members on the platform, out of which right now 270 have a balance above zero. So this does not mean that people just signed up and never put in money. This is also including people who signed up, put in money, took it back out to sell it or start their own masternode or whatever. And we also have our own Discord, also with a number of people sort of roughly managing the people who have a balance. We also, in the transparency reports, decided to put out dirty laundry. So we actually report every month incidents where we have, if a masternode has crashed or had a POSIX score or something else went wrong, that we didn't get all the votes out or something failed, we put it there also. And someone asked yesterday, what does the progression look like for the amount of money on the platform? And we just pull out this plot. So I put in bigger captions here because you can't really read it. But this is basically the number of Dash. So this is 30,000 Dash. And this is starting September last year until September of this year. So clearly, there was a fast projection up to the first 15 or so masternodes. And then it's been slightly slower, but still pretty steady going. And this is the net. The inflow is higher, but there's also, of course, a net outflow these days. Okay, so transparency might be the credo, but what we really think is important is the governance, and I'll get back to that. Because I think that potentially governance is the strongest point of Dash. I mean, instant send is great, and private send is great, and chain locks and all that, but I think the governance feature is really our killer thing. And it's because Dash can ask the token holders questions and get a response that is sort of weighted to the people who actually hold the coin. A little bit like shareholders of a public company. And, but not that, we can make decisions on should we change the logo and whatnot or change the block size. But we also have this treasury where we can give money to things, to projects we like with this grant model. Very soon we'll have the DIF where we can give money to projects we like but in a different basis. So this equity or maybe loan model. And I think really this is the only real DAO among all the leading cryptos, I think. So. So I could compare to all the other top coins. I just want to say that this governance model, compared to having, say, a benevolent dictator or doing a user-activated soft fork to whether we should do this or that and going around with red caps and so on, is basically it makes all the other approaches look stupid, including minor signaling, I think. So anyway, that's where we are. But I think I would actually argue that the reason that Bitcoin failed, in my opinion, is that it did not have a mechanism to actually ask the people who had Bitcoin, what should we do? So it's just, you know, it's by tweet or Reddit or something stupid. So how can we improve upon this? Why do we need to improve upon it if we already have the best solution? I think it's because there is this argument being made that it's only for the rich. You know, only the whales have a masternode, and so only the whales get to decide, and somehow that's worse than just having a dev team deciding everything. Okay, that's what we're being met with, and I think our platform, and hopefully competing platforms soon, basically will offer Dash governance to non-masternode owners, right? So that regular people can get this feeling of ownership. I think there's some disenfranchisement. If I have 100 Dash, I'm really invested, but I don't have a tenth of the say that somebody who has 1,000 Dash has, right? And so why would I buy half a masternode if I can only afford that? But I only get part of what I should be getting, right? I don't get the returns, and I don't get the say. So I think if we can flip this on its head and enfranchise the people who have the equivalent of a fraction of a masternode, that would be really great, and it would totally kill this argument. And the other problem that we want to address is this: yeah, but you know, even the most controversial proposals only get 1,000 votes out of 5,000 votes. So Dash masternode owners are lazy. That's why this is a terrible system. And I think, again, this is something we can solve. Our approach to this is what we call voting amplification, where basically the members on our platform can vote. But of course, not everyone does, for various reasons. Certainly not for every proposal. And so that means that the people who actually do vote, who do care about a certain proposal, voting yes or no, or abstain or whatever, they get their voice amplified by the people who don't vote, sort of lending their vote to them. Unless you actively opt out and say, no, please don't give my vote to anyone else, please don't vote on this proposal. That, of course, we let people do. But the default is that people delegate their vote to the people who care about the proposals. And that way, actually, the little guy now has a disproportionate vote or influence on decisions, because you not only have your own 30 Dash, but you also have another 50 Dash from the people who had money on the platform who just choose to not vote for a given proposal. So when the Dash prize recovers, I hope that the Dash Boost initiative, which we thought was great, will be revived. And we will then also support CrowdNode member voting for Dash Boost type proposals that are more well suited for these smaller initiatives, as was the original idea. Maybe this doesn't really make sense with a 60 euro Dash, but it certainly does make sense with a 600 euro Dash. So, so that's how we think we can improve upon the built-in protocol level governance that we already have. So just to illustrate how the amplification works, this is taken from one of our transparency reports. You probably can't read this, but these are sort of the list of proposals for a given voting cycle. At the time, I guess this is in the summer, apparently we had 22 votes to give on the platform, and you see the net votes here listed, sort of ranked in order. And you see these green bars out here that says amplification factor. So the longest bar here is 16.7, and the shortest bar is around 2. So 2 means that basically half of all the Dash on the platform chose to vote, and 16 means that very little Dash chose to vote. But the ones who do, they really get their vote amplified a lot. So they get to have 18 yes votes for Dash Help Support Center, I think this is. Okay? So that's the amplification sort of in action, and it's self-regulating, because if a given proposal has very few people who have voted anything, then I'm more incentivized to look into that proposal and vote yes or no, because I know I'm going to have a higher amplification factor, right? So we can make some observations. We see that people are actually happy to delegate their vote. You see the do-nothing votes here, very few. We have like, I don't know, 10 do-nothing votes in total out of hundreds and hundreds of votes cast. And these are the people who actively say, please don't give my vote to anyone else. And we respect that, but it's actually a rarity. And we also see that if we look at the ranking, if you look at what actually got the top votes and what was close to the threshold here in the CrowdNode vote versus the real full 5,000 masternode vote, it's not always a one-to-one correspondence, actually. Some proposals that sort of rank in the top here come out very close to the threshold in the general vote, which I think is interesting. And I won't claim to understand it, but that's how it is. So apparently it has an effect. And we also see that the amplification factor for multi-month proposals goes down over time, which makes perfect sense, because people who maybe didn't get to log in on the platform vote this month, they get the chance the next month, and so on and so on. And finally, we see higher amplification for small proposals. So a 50 Dash a month proposal, most people say, I'm not going to read in, I'm just going to delegate my vote. But if it's a really big one, somebody's asking for 500 Dash for 3 months, then people will read up on it and vote. So that's what we see. And we think the future looks dashy. Get it? Okay, so what are we doing? So on the platform, we're going to improve the user experience. Right now, the voting interface is clunky. We have that feedback. We know we're doing something about it, but it works. And we also have a bug on the fundings page we're about to fix. Moreover, when Dash Evolution comes out, obviously it's going to conquer the world, but the thing we look most forward to is the blockchain users feature, because that'll enable us to get over this thing we have now where people have to deposit from a specific address, which means coin control, which means complications. A lot of work for us supporting people also. So much better user experience. We also are going to introduce APIs via the blockchain, so you can sort of do blockchain special transactions or up return type things, and basically ask our portal to give you something back. For instance, check your balance or withdraw an amount, or maybe basically start up a new user, basically a sign up, if you will, but all without using the graphical user interface that you have to use now. Finally, we think that it would be reasonable and perhaps beneficial for the community to integrate a service such as ours directly into a wallet, like the DashPay wallet, so you can sort of swipe between your spending wallet and your savings wallet. So you make it really easy for the user who is not technical to say, yeah, I might have 50 Dash on my phone, if you're, let's say, a little bit ambitious with the security on your phone. And then you can just swipe 49 of them to a savings account and earn a little bit of rewards, because you know that a beer downtown, and the number of beers you're going to have, is only going to cost you that last Dash. And finally, of course, we're really open for any ideas and partnerships, and anything that basically helps grow the ecosystem, we're happy to help, if it makes any sense. Okay? So, to sum things up, Dash used to have governance by whales, and now we have a little bit. It's only 27, soon to be, but starting to have governance by the crowd. And the feature that I didn't talk so much about, but I think because we've introduced it on the platform, and we would like your feedback on how to promote this or whether it makes sense, is this feature where basically a masternode who's in it for the money, basically, doesn't really care about reading all the proposals every month, doesn't have time for it, doesn't have an interest, whatever, can delegate via this new voting key feature their voting feature to basically our platform, and have that be a part of the pool of votes that is decided on by the crowd, right? So I get my rewards, I'm a whale, I have 5 masternodes, but I give my 5 votes to the platform, and they sort of enter the amplification factor thing. Now, we think that makes sense. Maybe that will increase the total participation in voting. And the question is, do we need to incentivize that somehow, or is it just an educational thing, or is it just a silly idea? So basically, if you're an MNO, are you in it for the money or in it for the influence? That's the thing. And if you're in it for the money, sort of only, can we somehow get you to submit your voting keys? You can always, of course, override or revoke, but we lend your voting keys for the crowd. And is there some opportunity here for the Dash, for the Dash DAO to really market its governance more than it has? Because personally, I don't think that we get enough credit for how awesome the governance system is. Okay? So that's it. I hope Jan will allow 1 or 2 minutes for questions.
So I know the German guy. We had a lot of German slides here, by the way. Sorry, Jan. We are 11 seconds over time, so no questions. We'll take them bilaterally, I think. But one thing, talking dirty laundry, the session yesterday was only with masternode owners, well, and some other people. One person did provide a voting key for us, and we did not include it in the voting cycle we just finalized. So our mantra, one of them at least, full transparency even on dirty laundry, hereby complied. Talk to us outside. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Great job. Thank you for that. I really like the delegating feature. I don't have anything I could delegate, but I like the idea behind that. Okay. So I will set up the other computer and then introduce myself to you, finally. Okay, everybody. Next on stage, may I have your attention or? Just two presentations left to go, and then we will have a lunch break. I hope you're still awake and with us. So next on stage, it's me, myself this time. My name is Jan-Heinrich Meyer, aka Ezra, in the community channels. I'm working for the Dash Embassy in the DACH region, so we are focused on the German-speaking area. And I will now give you a short idea of what the DFOs, Dash-funded organizations all around the globe, are working on, and then we dive a bit deeper into the adoption in our region. So, I jump through that very quick. You already know that Dash is instant, it's private, that we are resistant against those 51% mining attacks. Just walk through it to remind it and keep it in place. And I think our road to success is being a DAO. And not only for the features the miner are having, so with those 51% attack resistance due to chain locks, and not only because of the masternodes, but because we split up the block reward and have this 10% in the treasury. So 10% for the people who are not familiar with Dash, maybe there are some newcomers over here, from the block reward goes towards the budget. And this budget is at the moment something like 5,700 Dash per month, and it's being used for business development, product development, and everything you can imagine. So compared to Bitcoin, we are not working for free and on our free time. We are doing this full time. So let's have a short look at some teams, and some of them are here. So we already met Dash Core Group over here on stage, and the developers are in this room too. We have a representative from the team of Dash Latam. I don't know if Gabriel is in here right now, but you will be able to meet him later on. They are doing merchant adoption. They're doing remittance mostly to Spain. We have teams in Venezuela doing merchant adoption over there. Dash News is covering almost everything that happens in the Dash DAO. Then Dash Nigeria, unfortunately, Nathaniel is not here today. He did not get a visa, so sad for me to hear that. But he wanted to come here and talk about what they're doing in Africa. In the end, also business development, merchant adoption. We have the guys from Dash Thailand over here, Felix. Over there he is, and also Dash Next. Dash Next is focused on business development all across Asia. We have a team from Turkey. Is Saeed over here? There he is. He's not on the map, but they're also focused on the gaming industry, for example. And we have us, the Dash Embassy DACH team. And this just as a short introduction for the team. So they are around and you can talk to them the whole day. I wanted to have a look in the DACH region and how to reach mass adoption, because I think this is in the end what we want. We want Dash to be used as digital cash at the point of sale and in e-commerce. So what do we need to do to reach this mass adoption? In the beginning, German as I am, I do some research. So doing some research means we prepared a letter and sent out a letter to the 350 cryptocurrency accepting merchants in Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. We asked them if they're interested in listing Dash as a means of payment. And after that, because this would just be sales, after that we gave them a call and asked them, in which way are you accepting cryptocurrencies at the moment? Direct, or do you do a fiat convert? These people broke my heart. 80% of those probably 350 merchants are accepting cryptocurrencies but get paid out in fiat. I thought they were the true believers. 350 in 3 countries, come on guys. The reason why they are accepting cryptocurrencies, 99% of the people we had talked to on the phone said marketing. Not because of the vision. How many store owners do we have in here? Is someone running a store? You. Are you accepting cryptocurrencies in your store? True believer. True believer. That's awesome. But we'll have a solution for that. We'll help you with that. Okay. So, in fact, when you have a guy, let's call this guy Jeff here, will he say, I accept cryptocurrency payments because I understand the concept and love it, or would you rather say, buy my products with whatever kind of PayPal you got and get the fuck out of here? What do you think what is correct? Buddy, you just won a Ledger Nano S sponsored by BitConsult outside. Come over. We will have more questions during this presentation, so please stay awake. Okay, so when we need those convert solutions, we need to analyze what's on the market. So Vega Wallet company, most of you might have heard of before, Salamantex, also POS solution with a fiat convert. They are around in the space over here too. Same for IQ Cash Now, they're over here. AnyPay, they did not make it. But there are those solutions that help merchants to accept cryptocurrencies. Now, when you need to buy an additional device that will cost you, let's say, 300 euro. And remember his mindset. Will you spend those 200 bucks for additional hardware? Or would you say, 200 euro, maybe I should just use this money to invest in, let's say, Facebook advertising? Who was first? Yeah, sure. Oh, wait, no, I need to. Of course, they will invest in Facebook advertising. One Ledger Nano S sponsored by BitConsult for you, man. Okay, easy one, easy question, wasn't it? Okay. So we need to identify the opportunity. When the people will not pay these bucks for additional hardware that offers the solution that they are looking for, we need to find another way to reach this mass adoption. So I took a look at a survey made by the Retail Institute in 2016. And this survey says something like, there are around about 1 million cashier systems in Germany only. These cashier systems, so we are not talking about a payment terminal, only the cashier system, right? There run about 25 companies running those 1 million cashier systems. And the survey also says that 71% of the decision makers in retail plan to buy new hardware during the next years. Okay, that's easy, that's good information. And the majority of these decision makers say from retail industry think cashier systems with built-in payment terminals would improve their overall business experience. So I was thinking, it's Android-based. Salamantex, can you guys just install cashier system, do an upgrade on your existing hardware, and then we have the mass adoption? Sounds good, doesn't it? Okay. So the next step when you're planning to reach mass adoption is that you need to get hit by reality, because the Bundesministerium der Finanzen, so the lawmakers in the end in Germany, they gave out a law in the beginning of 2017, says that you need a specific cashier system to apply to their laws. And then I understood why those 71% of the decision makers in retail in 2016 planned to buy a new cashier system. Maybe because they were already aware of this law. The Retail Institute survey also says that the average lifetime of a cashier system is at 7 years. So if 71% of the retailers bought a new cashier system with an average lifetime of 7 years in 2017 because of that law, will they buy additional hardware for crypto in 2019, even when it's a cashier system combined with cryptocurrencies? Let's ask Jeff again. I just paid 1,500 euro for a new cashier system. So, exactly. Probably not. Probably not. Okay. I have one last Ledger Nano S, sponsored by BitConsult. Who was first? The crowd need to decide. You have been very fast, man. Okay. So you need to keep thinking. I heard of the solution from BitPay. They integrated into Ingenico terminal. So this would mean if we want to go in already existing hardware, that we need to deal with all the payment service providers like Worldline, IDN, Concardis, BSPay One, all these players out there in the market. So to convince those people, it's time consuming. It's time consuming, and we want the mass adoption now. So yeah, I keep thinking, and it's a pain. It's a pain. It's a pain. So everything could be so easy. You just install a wallet, send some money, that's it. But those people told us, no, it's not possible to do it in that way. So I got a bit stuck at that moment, but of course you need to go on, and it came back to my mind, majority of decision makers from retail industry think that cashier systems with built-in payment terminal would improve the payment process. You've seen how easy cryptocurrency payments can be, and this is what we are working on at the moment. So you see the cashier system atop of this graphic. On the one side, the customer wants to pay in Dash, just follow the dots. He tells the merchant that he wants to do it. The merchant selects Dash as a payment method in the cashier system. The cashier system talks to a crypto to fiat payment service provider. This payment service provider talks to the exchange, receives the money from the exchange, provides the QR code. So wait, we are here, yeah, the way back. Provides the QR code, then the customer can send the Dash, the payment service provider forward that money to the exchange send euro back to the payment service provider. Both of them are charging fees, and then the euro is going up to the cashier system, a commission, and to the merchant. Shall I show you the other flowchart again, or can you remember the first one? I think it's a lot easier. But right now, I have the feeling that this might be the way to integrate those crypto to fiat payment solutions into the existing cashier systems out there. Because from the numbers and the research we did before, the retailers might not invest in additional hardware in a high scale. Of course, I know that Salamantex is selling point-of-sale devices. Same for IQ Cash Now. But we're talking about 1,000 merchants there. 1,000 merchants is great, but it's not a mass adoption. So the interesting part with those cashier systems is that when they start to accept cryptocurrencies or integrate those interfaces, that we can unleash new potentials for them. So on the one hand, the integration in those systems, it's pretty easy. You just need to install an additional app on it. And I heard that IQ Cash Now was working on something like this, and same for Salamantex. So I'm very happy that they're going the same way as I was thinking about that. And you have, as an owner of a cashier system, a competitive advantage compared to other cashier systems in the market, because in general, a cashier system is not offering any payments. You always need those payment terminals and payment service providers. In this solution, they are cut out. And because they are cut out, we have a new model of monetization for the cashier system. So before the merchant hits the credit card button on the cashier system and everything payment related is in the payment terminal. Now the payment happens inside of the cashier system, so the cashier system will earn additional money that they did not earn before. And I think that's basically it. It's just about doing some research, identify problems, find solutions, and then bring together the right people. And maybe Jeff in future will say, yeah, I accept crypto payments because it's easy and has advantages compared to, for example, credit cards. And if he does so, he might even have a closer look at the whole idea of cryptocurrencies in future, and we might be able to educate those merchants so that they not only integrate cryptocurrencies for marketing reasons in future. But we will see how this turns out. Our next steps on this way are connecting the dots in the end. So we are bringing together the crypto payment industry and the people from the traditional payment industry. Therefore, we are cooperating with GS1. GS1 is Global Standards, one of the biggest companies no one ever heard of, but they are providing the EAN code on every product, for example. They are funded by the retail industry and the payment industry. So I think it's a good cooperation partner to bring those two worlds, crypto and the traditional industry, together. We are part of Bitkom, which is the digital association in Germany. So everything connected to digital stuff, whatever it is, when it's payments or I don't know what else is digital, then it's connected to Bitkom. They're doing a lot of lobbying and they're in contact directly with the governance. We are also part of other associations to make our voice heard there and connect with the old economy, let's say it in that way. And right now, we are in talks with the BaFin to get a regulatory classification. BaFin is the German version of the SEC, and maybe even a letter that states, oh, private cent, it's just decentralized mixing. Because when you want to interact with all these traditional companies, you need this paperwork done. So in the end, that's basically it. My name is there again. I think you all know the website, -embassy.org. If not, take a look at that. And yeah, I'm happy to answer your questions if there are any. No questions is good, I guess. I will provide a link to that presentation so you can have a look at the retail survey, for example, on yourself again. And yeah, if there's anything else you're interested in, I'll be around here. And also our partners will be around here. So in the afternoon, we will have presentations from Salamantex, from IQ Cash Now, from Coinify, from Utrust, because these companies are the ones that will help us to reach mass adoption together with the old industry. I think there is no way around that for now. And then we get rid of that. No, sorry. So just kidding. Okay, thank you again. Thank you again. And right now I stop laughing. Right now, I would like to welcome on stage Ivan and Dana for Dash Platform. So we go into tech details. I hope you have prepared a presentation for us. I haven't received any. No, he did not. Oh my God. Okay, so yeah, I think they're getting prepared. Looks good. Okay, so please give a warm welcome applause.
Thanks.
Yeah, we try that. The last time we tried that,
So okay,
So cool. Change slides. I don't know. I can do it, I guess.
I don't have a signal.
No!
It's because of that Apple stuff.
Probably.
Google Slides?
Yep.
Okay.
Ja, klar. Well, no, it's an issue with that. It's gonna work. That's unfortunate.
Can you change the resolution from the Retina resolution?
Is that the problem? Otherwise, we can just use the link and.
I'm ready. Ready?
No jokes.
Either might be better than him being deeply embedded I don't think I have it.
Yeah, bring out a real
Så det der joke med, at der er glemt præsentationen. I work with projections.
So we are sending money across the globe in 1 cent for less than 1 second, but for less than 1 cent. But setting up a presentation sometimes it's a pain. It's a pain because we need to work with the infrastructure other people provide, like Apple, Microsoft. It's a lot easier when it's built on your own, right, Ivan?
Yeah, we need more software engineers here, I think.
Okay. Maybe we can create a dApp for that stuff in future. It's the same with video calls all the time. Want to start your Google Hangout? Someone can't join. Skype is broken anyway. People are talking about Zoom. I don't install Zoom. I don't know the company behind it.
Muss das spielen oder was?
Yeah. All right, guys, we're ready to go, so please give a warm welcome applause again for the developer of Dash Drive and the Derby stuff.
Hi, my name is Ivan Shumkov. I am a software engineer. I was invited in the beginning of the 2018 the Drive team, and a bit later Andy engaged me to work on the Dash platform protocol and architecture in overall. And recently, like DAPI and Drive team were merged, and so now I'm working on the platform. And my friend Dana.
Hi everyone, my name is Dana Alibrandi. I'm the product manager for Dash Platform. Work very closely with Ivan and the other developers building this and trying to articulate the value to future customers. I live in Los Angeles, California, and I've been at Dash for a year and or Dash Core Group. I've been a year and like 4 or 5 months. So we have a lot of content to get through. This is a pretty giant subject, so I don't mind. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, a lot of content to get through, and lunch is approaching, so we'll try and do it quickly. I'll be available all day today, and I'll also be going to Munich, so if you have any questions, feel free to come up to me afterwards, and happy to chat about any of this, launch partners, all that good stuff. So we'll start off with an overview of the platform. I'll go into some use cases that we've identified or that other organizations have expressed interest in developing around. And then Ivan will get into the juicy technical details, and then we'll conclude with some other juicy tidbits as well. Yeah, so starting off, what is Dash Platform? So I'm sure you guys have heard a lot of things, especially in context of evolution. And basically, it's a development platform that allows third-party developers, businesses to build applications that leverage the Dash network in various ways. So the broader vision is that we're developing a technology stack, so providing things like authentication, data storage, and basically anything that a developer would need to create a decentralized application. The first iterations of the platform will focus mostly on data storage, but as time goes on, we hope to add more features where you can fully host an application on the platform, and a couple of other areas that we're exploring, like smart contracts and things like that. Right now, for our first version, like I said, data storage, and we're also going to be providing some client SDKs in JavaScript, Objective-C, and Java for development on those key platforms. So right now, our value proposition, similar to other Dash Core Group initiatives, we're really focused on usability and ease of use, which is one of the reasons why we're heavily promoting JavaScript as our first language. And eventually, we will port our libraries into other languages like Python and .NET and PHP as well, hoping the community will be able to help us out with that. A couple of terms that we've heard from organizations that we've reached out to that are interested in building on the platform. They've heard blockchain as a service. So we're providing access to Dash's security and consensus so that people can validate the information that they're storing on the platform using our consensus mechanism. We've also heard DLT as a service, distributed ledger technology. Yeah. So in addition, we're also providing human-readable usernames, also known as blockchain users. Ivan's going to get into more details about that. And a couple of other things that are really exciting are the ability to remove data silos. So if you have multiple independent parties that all need access to the same data, storing that data on Dash Platform is a really convenient way to secure it while also providing access to all of the relevant parties. So some use cases in that regard could be supply chain management or maybe even healthcare records, but we'll see about that one. That one's a little dicey. Yeah, so I'll get into a couple of the higher level concepts, and then I'll pass it off to Ivan for the technical stuff for the deeper dive. So DAPI, our decentralized API. A DAPI instance will live on every single masternode so that you can potentially connect to different masternodes to access Dash Platform while still having the same experience across your applications. So this serves as it's a more resilient model compared to the typical client-server model, where you connect to one server, maybe that server goes down for various reasons, and then you're unable to access the application. With DAPI, you won't have that problem. Your application and your data will always be available. We will be able to integrate the SDK through various package managers. So if you're familiar with JavaScript, you'll be able to use NPM or Yarn. Same goes for Java and iOS. And you'll be able to define your data structures through what's referred to as a data contract. And I'm going to get into that in a second. Yeah, so in addition to DAPI, we have decentralized storage. This is formerly known as Drive, and the reason that we're not really using that term anymore is because we've broadened the scope of what Drive actually does. And then Ivan will be able to get into that as well in further detail. So your application data is replicated across all of the master nodes to ensure data redundancy. In the event that any master node goes offline or crashes for whatever reason, your data will be safe and secure. You'll be able to access your application data at any point in time, so that provides for very interesting auditability use cases. So if I wanted to see what my application looked yesterday, I could type that in and retrieve that data and have that historical record of changes. And our application state, our application data is going to be secured via a side chain that lives alongside the main Dash blockchain now. That side chain we're referring to as the platform chain. So your data is submitted to Dash Drive in the form of a state transition. Yeah, so I wanted to include a couple of diagrams to illustrate the concept of a state transition if no one is familiar with that concept. So here we have Pikachu, who is a very well-known Pokemon for anyone who's familiar with that game, franchise, whatever you'd want to call it. And Pikachu goes through a state transition to become Raichu via the introduction of a Thunderstone. A more relevant example might be in this application. So this is more similar to what will be going on in a Dash platform application. So here, this is my profile on SoundCloud on the left, and then I make some changes to that profile. I change the profile picture, I change the current song that I'm listening to, and that would be captured through a state transition. Oh, yes, I changed my style as well, apparently. Yeah, so a data contract is probably going to be the first point of interaction between any third-party organization and Dash platform. It is an agreement between the data that you want to share between your application and Dash platform. It's very similar to a database schema. If anyone is familiar with that, it's like a blueprint of what your data will look like and how you want it to be validated by the network. Yeah, so those are the key concepts, high-level overview, and now we'll get into some specific use cases that we've identified and some use cases that companies have approached us about for the platform. Yeah, so one of the key use cases is just the ability to remove centralized data storage risk. So instead of having this honeypot where hackers might be incentivized to attack like a single point of user data, and there have been many news stories recently about this sort of thing happening, by storing your application data on the platform, you encrypt it, and it's secured by masternode quorum consensus, LLM queues, long-living masternode quorums. You are offloading the security of your data security to the Dash network in effect. So I've spoken to some organizations, particularly Dash Text, if you guys are familiar with that Dash-funded organization, and some others that are interested in using Dash platform to, remove some of that risk and promote the general decentralized ethos. So we'll be providing Dash usernames. You'll be able to have a human-readable username that is associated with an identity. The identity will be stored on the side chain, and the username will be stored in what we're referring to as Dash Platform Name Service. So it's very similar to DNS or ENS, which is Ethereum's name service. So it will resolve an identity into a human-readable username. And one of the use cases that we've noticed some companies being interested in around that is the ability to use a Dash username as your core username within like a multi-currency wallet. So you could map like an Ethereum address to a Dash username, and that wallet would let you transmit whatever sort of funds you want using the underlying Dash username. And a couple of other related use cases that we'll get into are kind of all around supply chain management. So one in particular that I like is known as food provenance. So that's tracking the origin of food along the supply chain. And there are a couple of efficiencies to be gained from that. There's a lot of fraudulently labeled food, such as olive oil. Olive oil frequently gets labeled as extra virgin, which commands a higher price point. And in reality, it's actually not. There's various organizations that are malicious actors depriving us of quality olive oil. But you could be able to identify that more easily through a blockchain. It'd be more easier to spot fraud in the supply chain process. You can also identify the source of contaminated food. So recently in the US, there was, I believe it was E. coli, there was an E. coli outbreak associated with romaine lettuce. Does anybody remember this? Does this sound familiar? No? All right, well, either way, you would be able to identify the specific farm where the contaminated lettuce came from, and then instead of doing like a wider recall, you could just recall from that specific farm and then save, businesses and retailers, restaurants, a lot of money and heartache. And there's also the ability to ensure food quality in unregulated markets. So I guess China, for example, has problems with bad pork. So you would be able to trace that food quality. And this is something that Walmart is doing currently with their pork suppliers in China.
Plastic eggs.
Yes, and also I guess China is making plastic eggs and selling them to various countries. So you can avoid that issue as well. It'd be quite a surprise. And one of the most interesting use cases that we've identified so far is related to seed-to-sale tracking. So this is also a supply chain management use case, but it's specifically related to the marijuana industry. And one of the reasons that marijuana products or marijuana companies are really interested in this solution is because they face a lot of regulatory and compliance challenges with their products. State and federal governments are constantly looking to these companies for like records on purchases, sales tax, product quality, things like that. So they're really interested in using Dash Platform as a solution because all of that record keeping would be public and always available so that any regulator would be able to access that whenever they wanted. And now I'll hand it off to Ivan to get into some of the technical details.
Thanks. How much time do we have?
All the time.
All the time. Okay. I don't know when we started.
We have 20 minutes.
20 minutes? Okay.
No pressure.
Next time we need to make more talk switches and jokes. Let me stay here. Sure. Thanks. Don't want to be so boring. So I wouldn't say that I go into like juicy, deep technical details, just like something in overall. And if you have
expectations,
yeah, and if you have any questions, we can go deeply. Okay, so just to understand the whole architecture of Dash, we break down it in layers. So the first layer is our Dash blockchain, governments, masternodes, the deterministic masternode list, all these nice LMQs and proof of service, and many more. So the second layer, which we are going to introduce with Dash platform, is like software built on top of layer 1 and utilize some features from layer 1, such like DML, like deterministic masternode list, or long-living masternode quorums. So yeah, for layer 2, we are using tier 2. So I mean, to money terms. I mean masternode network. So we utilize masternode network in order to deploy and run Dash platform. So, and there is a third layer, is things which are built on top of platform. So it's actually our Dash platform applications, such as Dash Pay or Dash Platform Name Service. It's kind of part of platform, but built this platform. You know, it's like ERC tokens, which is basically smart contract. So it's like functionality built with platform. This is cool. Closer. Oh, did you hear what I told before? Okay.
Move the hand that doesn't hold the microphone.
Yeah. Okay. So you mentioned here, probably that notice here that there is a second blockchain for platform. It's not a joke. Previously, we were thinking to store like platform state transitions on a layer 1 chain, like on a like payment chain, but it's not really good idea because it's pretty expensive. We need to propagate all this data among the whole network, not just master nodes. We can do deterministic fees, right? So you need to pay like fees for layer 2, for platform, for storage, for master nodes, and also layer 1 fees for miners. So yeah, and we decided to move all state transitions from layer 1 to layer 2 and introduce a new chain. We call it platform chain. It is different consensus algorithm and different approach. It doesn't connect it with proof of work chain. I would say that this consensus is based on practical Byzantine tolerance protocol. It's something like Raft, but it's like more enhanced and it's Byzantine fault tolerant. That's the thing. And so in layer 2 consensus, it's specified in the Dash platform protocol. So it's like all data structures, all state transitions, all validation rules, and so on. So it's separate consensus. And platform chain, I think it's kind of shift of paradigm. It's not like a blockchain-based thing, blockchain-centric thing. Only what we are, why we are using blockchain here is only for state replication and consensus. So we care more about state, not about blockchain anymore. So, and it allows us, for example, to prune blockchain after some amount of blocks. So it's kind of replicated state machine, which updates state on all master nodes in consistent way. Okay, so I already mentioned deterministic fees. So now we don't have any like we are not communicating with layer 1. We don't need to pay fees for miners. So now it's just layer 2 completely fees, which are based on data size and like complexity of operations, what we need to do in order to process state transition. We will talk about it later. Yeah, so yeah, I already mentioned Dash Platform Protocol. Basically, its specification describes all data structures like transactions and logs and so on, and also how we serialize it, how we verify it, validate, and so on. And it's not just specification, it also has implementations, which is kind of pluggable, and we're going to provide implementations for different languages. So like for JavaScript, Objective-C, and so on, so on. So you don't need to implement always the protocol and upgrade, change your implementation is pretty difficult. So this protocol will be delivered like a library. So just what you need to do is just update the library and your components or your application, or for example, you will decide to make own implementation of any Dash platform components. So you just need to update one thing, that's it. So the main entities in the protocol is data contracts, documents, and state transitions. Dana already, how
long will you go on?
I don't know.
Like 15 more minutes.
Okay.
Okay, so Dana already explained what this data contract is, and so basically, yeah, it's like a data model of your application. So you can define, okay, I have a block, so I have posts, comments, and users. So we basically define the structure of these objects because yeah, and any like validation rules. For example, I need a title in the post. Title supposed to be 255 characters long, and so on. Like, we are using JSON schema as our definition language, so it's provide pretty flexible way to define things and even conditions. Like, if this field is not present, I need another one. So you can define pretty complex validation rules and structures there. So that's cool. And also we provide some primitives on top of it, such as indices and unique indices. So you can specify which fields in your document, in your post, must be searchable. I mean, like, you can make filter on these documents. And you define this as an index. Actually, it's like pretty common term from the database world, right? What else? Yeah, in the future, we're going to provide more such like primitives like ACL, like access control list, like when you can allow someone to create or update or delete some type of documents with some conditions, and yeah, and relations and so on. So that's like our plan for the future. The next thing is documents. It's basically like JSON document. This is a piece of data what you described in the contract, and send to the DAPI, you know, in order to store it, and then you can fetch it, like filter by fields. It's like usual document-oriented database like MongoDB or something. Yeah, and state transitions, it's actually transactions. Dana already presented the beautiful picture is Pokemon. It's like, yeah, it's basically you have a state 0. You want to update your application state, and you want to create like several documents. Okay, so you create documents, put them in the state transitions, which describe how you want to change one data into another, like into another state. So and send the state transitions to the DAPI. I mean, you will have SDK, how it works internally. For you to just will be like put documents, you know, like get documents, something like that. Yeah, so protocol described like state transitions for documents, contracts, created system, and so on. Dash identities, it's what we call formerly known like blockchain users. I think you know this, like usernames. Yeah, we rework it a bit and make it more unified. We decoupled names from identities. So previously it was like basically public key and name, right? So now identity is just public key, and some are like ID associated with it. And it allows us to create kind of unique identities for any entities and platform, like applications, users, and also third-party entities for the the developers. I don't know, probably in your system you have some entities, you need unique IDs for that. You want to sign some data, verify that this data is signed by this user. You can use identities as a building block for that. Yeah, and it's foundation for decentralized identities. I know, did you familiar with this standard? It's like W3C standard, and there is decentralized identity foundation. So basically, it's the idea to introduce a standard among all networks, and with this standard, you'll be able to authorize, retrieve some data, interchange it between different networks, like Bitcoin, Dash, and so on. So yeah, and we are heading in this direction as well. Also, identities allow us to create indentation. It's like when it's